Okay, guys, this is by no means a smear Matt Spears video, but as I read through some of the comments and stuff, I just wanted to bring some attention to actual information about what he is going to be restoring. The UHSPW WIG, which did start off as a hovercraft, and Bob Wendt, who had originally designed it in, I believe, 1998-ish. And when I had seen it in 2001, it basically had blue tarp over the wings. So the little stubby wings were really, really sketchy looking. If you saw compared to what Matt has shown you with what he is doing as a more improved version. When Universal Hovercraft, so I've known about Hovercraft, I'm going to say since 1991, because that is when I got involved. Actually, a little before that, but I got involved in building my own hovercraft, a UH-12T3 back in the day from Plans, which I still have, plans and everything. Many, many things hovercraft related. And I just wanted to try to clear up some of the misinformation in some of the comments, a little bit by Matt Spears himself, who was talking about how the Navy being built, that craft being built for the Navy, which as you will see in this article, we can talk about that. You know, when Bill Zhang, and he's the nephew and was owner of Universal Hovercraft after Bob Wendt, his uncle, had basically given the reins over to him. Bob's design was based mostly, I believe, on his UH-19P, which still holds the world hovercraft speed record of 85.38 miles per hour. And I've always wanted to try to do that myself. I'm getting too old to even consider it, maybe. But I've always wanted to try to challenge that speed record. But anyway, it has been challenged in some places, and but no authentic record has been remade as far as Guinness Book of World Records recording. So as far as the Navy, obviously the U.S. Navy has been in hovercraft for quite a long time. From the packs, ones from all the way in the Vietnam War, and then more recently, of course, the LCAC landing craft air cushion vehicles, which obviously Matt Spears should have known about when he said anything about a Navy version. Now, a civilian Navy, I guess, a civilian craft turned into a, quote, Navy hovercraft, I guess was the concept of what Universal was doing in the 2000, early to whatever, before everything went bust. Let me see if I can even find that. I know, it's old black and white. Matt Spears, it would be good if you basically, I'm sure Hover Club of America still does this. You can get a lot of these old Hover News. As becoming a member, you can actually get most of this digitally now. So you could go and read through all this. Page 10, I guess I could skip to there. But I'll be all over the place because I do not plan on editing. I'm not a good YouTube editor. I don't like to edit. And I used to contribute to the Hover Club of America. I would always go to the rallies that were close by in Ohio, as well as Illinois when they had the that was when I first saw the flying wing and ground effect. So here we go. This is the article. You can go ahead and maybe research that so you can learn more about the craft that you got. And Bill Zhang, who's still, I believe, active as far as he doesn't own the company or build hovercraft to my knowledge anymore. But I had seen not too many years ago where he had given rides on an 18 SPW not that long ago. And I believe, yeah, there is a referenced YouTube video where somebody came across from England and did a investigative report on that as well. So yes, LCACs, obviously, if you didn't know that, then you were far from knowing anything about Navy hovercraft. And you should do some more research and know your stuff before you get involved in it. You're probably best off to keep it as a hovercraft and learn to drive it first before you ever put those wings on it and venture off into trying to do, I mean, yes, you've flown a Scat, but flying a UH design with twin engines is different than that. I'm all over the place, but here. Okay, so back in, this is when Universal's buildings burned down and lost a bunch of hovercraft back then. Bob, the godfather of hovercraft, is not to be forgotten. He did a lot of great things. I wish there was more involvement in hovercraft now, and if it wasn't for people like him and SevTech and other do-it-yourself hovercraft, then all you would have had were scat. Here, I'll go back here. This is a picture of Bill Zhang when he was like 11, 12 and was started racing. It was a little early. We didn't have a junior program back then, but I remember seeing him, and I'd help out, lift up the craft and see all the torn skirts. And well, back then it wasn't like scat. It was just one big bag skirt. That's most of what you're going to be dealing with. The bag skirt look like the one you have on that craft is in pretty good shape. There's Bob. You got Canadian Chris Barzinski, some Team Scat, Kent Gano, and Terry Chapman. Can't forget him. So yeah, I mean, your best bet is, if you're interested in hovercraft, to, depending on where you're from, either do the British Hover Club or the American Hover Club. Canada has a hover club. I think it's still fairly active. Some of the electric designs that are coming out are done both by Owen Ellis has got a hybrid that he's working on up in Canada, and I'm going to cut it off here because I don't want to just be talking about things that aren't that interesting to people. But yeah, so the UHSPW WIG, or Wing and Ground Effect hybrid hovercraft, I would want to call it, because some people were like, no, that's not a hovercraft. Well, in WIG configuration, it still is a hovercraft, because when you set it down on the water or on land, you are in hovercraft mode. And the idea that you can, get it into ground effect was always kind of intriguing. I don't think so many people actually did it. They were more than happy with just dealing with all the nuances of having a hovercraft and dealing with all the things that come about with that. My two hovercrafts are basically in disrepair as well right now. Last I had my craft out was a few months ago, and I'm having some belt and air leakage problems in the engine. I ripped off my arm trying to take the thing out and was unable to really work on it with lower back pain. So anyway, good luck, Matt Spears, on building that. You'll find it's a lot more interesting than the old scat that you have. And that's about all I'm going to say right now. I might add on a video. I just didn't want to have to edit a video, so I'm just going to upload this straight. I could have live streamed it, but I got to go down to the shop to show the hovercrafts that I'm working on. Anyway. Oh, I have no idea what happened there. It's loose. All right. Well, I'm going to try to put two videos together. The UHSPW, here's another article about it, is not a twin engine design. It was a single engine using a belt all the way up with a variator to control the lift RPM from the thrust. This scat may be one that you was near you, because it's Anchorage, Alaska, I believe. Anyway, there's not much about the wing in here, the WIG, except for the 18 SP, and then you add a W and it becomes an SPW. But you can build it for, back in the day, you could, and Bob did very successfully build craft for under $2,000, because he would scavenge everything. And you may have actually seen him with Terry Chapman on Junkyard Wars, when they actually did build hovercraft from junk out of junkyards. But so this said page 3 talked about the hover wing, but very, very short, as Bob was always very brief in what he would talk about. But so that tells you a little bit more. Again, so many great do-it-yourselfer hovercraft projects that have been out there. Verdon, the Webbers, the Star Cruiser guys, they had basically put wings, made a WIG, and it didn't really. It was they did it as a test, and they never sold it or anything, or sold plans for it. I'm not sure if that ever ended up anywhere. I did see that the Pink Lady of Miss Weber was sold not that long ago once, that I saw, I think, on Facebook. But that would have been a good one. Star Cruisers were awesome. I got to drive them for a while. I never owned one. Wouldn't mind owning one. And I built one similar myself, based on the idea of the foam, and I just never kept it that good. But anyway, Barzinski Jr., he had a lot of good racing craft from Canada. So yeah, if you can make it out to any of the worlds, are usually in England now. The 2026, I don't know where they're going to have it, but I plan to hopefully get out there. Haven't had it in America for quite a while, but we got to get the Hover Club of America to be more active. So maybe with interest in hovercrafts again, that's one thing I can say is that your videos have maybe spurred some interest that people didn't know they exist. A lot of people, when they're younger and haven't seen one for themselves, just as I didn't before 1991, know that I'd be so interested in it, and still 30 some years later are, have the hover bug and I can never shake it. I just wish I was better at my mechanics and could keep the damn things running. Yeah, that's always a problem. It's time, and I mean, they're fun toys for the most part, but that's what most people see them as, and so be it. They're still fun toys. Okay, let me clarify that. Yes, they are toys for the most part. For many people, they're fun, for fun. But yes, there is many instances, especially the Navy does use them for other things besides toys. And there are many humanitarian efforts. I was looking through here. The only color version I have of any was in 2005. Star Cruisers. Let's see. And these are not... I know some people in the comments were saying ekranoplane. I guess it's which have been around for a long time in the military. That's the name that they give the WIGs, WIGs, wing and ground effect vehicles that are really just big airplane ships. That's not the same thing as what the hover wing is, or hover wing that we call them. But yeah, here LCAC was used back when the tsunamis happened. So there are some reasons why a hovercraft can be useful for rescue. And I've seen many rescue craft, even like the one that Mr. Cletus McFarlane got, and people get those used. That still is a business as far as selling rescue hovercraft. I've seen where, unfortunately, some of the UH designs got sold as rescue hovercraft. And there for a while, I mean, they were trying to make a business out of it. And a lot of the rescue the municipalities and whatnot did not utilize them well. They looked great for ice rescue and stuff, and some have been used for ice rescues, but as many that have been sold to rescue places, it's a good business, but it's not the only great thing that hovercraft can be used for. So anyway, I don't know. I hope this gives you some idea. I'm rambling a lot, and I have no idea how I'm editing this video or not editing this video, because it's just going to be on my phone. I'm just going to upload it. So